Okay, so now let us continue with our discussion with the sixth and the last LOS of this particular reading. Clear? So it's about the model of the tokenization, it's about the mechanism, and it's about the failure of the trust. Clear? See, basically, it's very important as you have understood each and every aspect of tokenization, but something which was actually missing, that, sir, how this is actually designed. Clear? How you have actually created the trust and where it can actually fail in the near future. Clear? So, since beginning, we are saying that tokenization is based on three features: so trust, sharedness, and programmability. Clear? Now, we will discuss these 3 points in bit more detail. Okay, now how to achieve the sharedness. Clear? So over here we have 3 different models. First is your single ledger model, then we have is a common ledger model, and third one is a compatible ledger model. Means they are how you can actually share. Okay, so for that you have single ledger, common, or compatible. Clear? See, in this model everything happens on a single system. There is one common system. Clear? All participants or their intermediaries, they operate on the same ledger, and all the assets are created directly on that ledger. Clear? So this is simple, this is efficient, because there is one source of truth. Clear? If you'll ask me some practical example related to that, so you might have seen that centralized financial infrastructure where one entity maintained the full system. Okay, earlier there were some blockchain based settlement experiments have been done by the stock exchange. Okay, by the ASX, Australian Security Exchange. Okay, they have done these experiments, basically that you will do the settlement based on the blockchain system between the period of 2017 to 2023. So they have managed to understand this centralized approach in their design, but there was some limitation that system was heavily dependent upon one platform, and if that platform will fail, everything will get affected. So one drawback of a single ledger model, so if there is a drawback, if there is a failure in that particular system, everything will stop on a immediate basis. Clear? Then we come up with the second type of ledger, that is a common ledger model, where assets may exist on different system. You have different systems. Okay, so what I was saying, that in a common ledger model, assets will exist on different systems. Okay, but they are represented on a single shared ledger. Okay, using the escrow. Clear? So what is actually happening over here? See, you have a original asset. Okay, your asset, suppose the shares of Reliance Industry, 100 shares of Reliance Industry. So this is your original asset, and it is logged in your escrow account. Clear? And you will have a token number for this. Clear? So you have received that token number, and that is the representation of your asset. Clear? And this is useful for tokenizing the real world assets. Clear? Now this token will identify, see, you have multiple tokens for different assets. So now from these different ledgers you can identify which one is your particular asset. Clear? So like in real estate tokenization projects, specifically in Switzerland and United States, so there is a physical property. Clear? And that is legally existing, but the tokens representing ownerships are on completely different platform. Means, sir, I have the legal papers of this house, but its ownership is also mentioned in the form of token on a shared ledger, on a digital platform. Clear? So this model actually allows us to bring my traditional assets into the digital format. So you have these assets over here, in paper. Now you are representing this particular asset in your digital account as well. Clear? So asset exists in a different account and it also available digitally as well. Clear? Now we have the third type of ledger is a compatible ledger model. Clear? So over here you have multiple ledger exists, multiple ledger. Clear? And they are built using the standardized technology so that they can communicate with each other. These ledgers can communicate with each other so that they can transfer the assets. Clear? Now this is very important for the future of finance, because if there is a cross border payments, okay, and there is one experiment which is actually led by the central banks of many countries like China, UAE, Hong Kong, and they want to connect the multiple systems so that money and the asset can smoothly move across countries. One asset can easily move across countries. So if you will ask me, sir, what is the difference between three different types of models? Single ledger, one single system. Common ledger, it's a escrow-based representation, means you have an asset and you are representing it in the digital format. Third is a compatible ledgers, where you have multiple ledgers and they are interconnected. Clear? Now coming to the second one, that is programmability. You remember, programmability means there is a code and the database that are integrated within the system. Clear? Earlier we used to send the instruction to separate database operator one by one. Clear? But over here the logic is built inside the ledger itself. Okay, this will allow you the automation, accuracy as well as the efficiency. Clear? So it also allow you to bundle up multiple transactions together using the smart contract. Like a bond can automatically pay the coupons. Okay, a trade can execute only when the conditions are met. Clear? So this will definitely reduce the manual errors, okay, along with the operational delays. Clear? Now coming to the third one, it's about the trust, okay, which is most important. See, there are three ways if you want to establish the trust in a tokenization system. First is a single operator system. What is the single operator system? Over here only one central entity will control what? They will control the record keeping as well as the validation of the transaction. Clear? So trust is basically coming from the reputations, regulations as well as the legal systems. Clear? And this is similar to your traditional financial system, but the risk is definitely over there because everything is purely dependent upon one single operator who is managing everything. Clear? So now we need to remove that risk. Clear? We need to move ahead, and that is about the permission distributed ledger technology. So this is a fully decentralized system. Decentralized system means anyone can join the network, anyone can validate the transaction. Clear? So trust is created through a census mechanism. It's not the central authority who is doing it. Okay, it's everyone around us who is actually doing it. Clear? Like one example if you'll ask me is the Bitcoin. Clear? Launched in 2009, where thousands of independent nodes, they validated the transaction globally. Clear? So this model provides you a high openness, but it comes with its own risk as well. Clear? Because there is a no central authority. Then you have is a permission DLT. It's a hybrid model. Clear? Hybrid model means only those who are authorized participant, they can access the system, they can validate the transaction. So means more than one, but only authorized. Clear? And control is actually managed by a central authority. Clear? So this model definitely balance you the system efficiency as well as the control. Clear? Now the last point, that is the trust failures, because every model have a weakness. Clear? If every model will have a weakness, then because see, model comes with a risk. Clear? So if it's a permission DLT, okay, where you are having the authorized dealers who are participating. Clear? Because anyone can participate, so system is vulnerable to attack. Clear? So the most important is 51% of the attack, means if single entity will control more than 50% of the network computing power, they can manipulate the transaction, they can rewrite the history. Clear? And another risk is front running, means there is a possibility of transaction manipulations. Okay, so over here participants can manipulate the transaction fees to get their higher transaction executed earlier than other. Clear? A specific form of is a sandwich attack, where an attacker plays the trade before and after the victim transaction so that they can profit from the price movement. Clear? Because see, the problem is one single person controlling everything and only the validated person are participating. Clear? So now they have the power of front running. Clear? Now there is no central authority because all validated participants are participating, so regulatory enforcement will also become difficult and external data can be more vulnerable to the cyber risk. Clear? Second is the permissioned DLT risk, means over here you don't have the permission. Sorry, let me repeat it again. Permissionless DLT, that means no permission, anyone can access the system. Clear? So that means what? A single entity controls everything. Clear? And if there is a problem in a computing power, it can definitely manipulate the transactions or it can rewrite the history, and front running is also the problem over here. Okay, now the second part, this one is your permissioned DLT. Okay, over here the risk is of a collusion. Since you have a limited number of authorized participants who control the system, they may work together or they manipulate the records of the rule for their benefit. They all tie the hands and say, let's manipulate the market. Clear? But reputation concern is there. Suppose out of 5, 2 say no, so then they won't be able to do. And regulatory oversight is also possible, that they have to look only the 5 people. Clear? Now the issue is under the single operator. If the operator will fail, the entire system fails. So trust purely depends upon the legal system as well as the institutional's credibility. Are you clear? So compared to the decentralized system, this model have a higher centralized risk. So if you want me to connect everything now, different tokenization models, they have some benefits, they have some disadvantage based on 3 categories. First is control. Single control or multiple control. Everyone will have the access or only few people will have the access. Decentralized or centralized. See, there is no perfect system. Okay, everything will have a benefits, everything will have a drawbacks. Clear? So you cannot say that your system is better, your model is better than others. Clear? So I have completed this particular reading of the current issues. Thank you.